So today's flow is a slightly different thing. And we're going to build a tool, and then we're going to bring our client in and we're going to test our tool, the client against, we're going to co-create with our client, see how that goes. And then we'll bring in the skeptic, and the skeptic can help us kind of sort through our yeah buts on how realistic is this. So you can see we had the original 3-step model, which was to clarify, create, and customize. And what we realized is we really need to slow our roll on our thing, get it? But we need an extra step in there. And so we have this clarify, really making sure we're defining the challenge. What that naturally does then is give us a step 4, which is commit, where once we have determined the actual problem, we've co-created some kind of a solution for it, we've tailored it to the situation and tested it out, we can come back and say, did we really move the needle on that problem? Right. And so now we can really get some true metrics around impact because we know what should have changed.
So I wanted to just, kind of start out with some of the basics. So, we've been tasked with going through and saying, I need training on this software platform. So that's not giving us a lot of information. Everything that we do now needs to be analyzed, needs to be confirmed that we're making a difference. So we have to go through and incorporate analytics. We have to go through and think about what cultural change we want to make, what behaviors do we want to modify, and then how are we going to track all that stuff out. So whenever I'm going through and doing a prompt, I'm always going to ask myself, who do I want to be? Who is the expert in this particular area that's going to help me out so I can prepare myself as I go through and work with the client, the stakeholder, the business owner.
Being with AI, so it has all the context because Ed had built out all that in the background, got the context. Now you can say, now I want you to act like a internal client.
Yep.
That is cautious, but or rate the level of heat or whatever, however you want to do it. We do it in sales all the time. We actually put in their LinkedIn profile so that to mimic
that's
it.
Perfect.
But you can do the same thing for your internal folks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Or even the internal profile. I mean, a lot of companies have Workday and stuff like that, so you can see the internal work.
And this whole point is to add to your confidence.
We've got 6,500 employees out there that are working with our clients every day. And we know that our existing clients don't understand our services and the depth and breadth of those services. These 6,500 employees are talking to our clients every day. All they just need some product training and some platform training, because then they can, help these clients understand how we can expand the relationship and meet their needs. They see these people every day.
All right. So it is time, Dustin, to have the skeptic step in.
I would like to clarify first, am I being skeptical about the process of clarification, or am I being skeptical about the solution that we landed on?
A little bit of both, right?
Yeah,
because we're still don't have that vision of what really the ask is.
One thing that I noticed that is hard to see how this would play out, and you got me thinking, Nicole, about what would it be like to collaboratively use AI with a client, which is something I haven't done in lifetime. The one thing that I noticed is the way that maybe relying on or leveraging AI to be that curiosity partner, it seemed to take the conversation away from its natural flow, which I do see some benefit of, right? Because it's going to raise some questions that we wouldn't think of otherwise. But if you disrupt the trust that the stakeholder has in you, that you're taking their concerns seriously and you're not just delegating it to the bigger brain, they can sense that, right?
Yeah.
So that's one concern I have about leveraging it in real time.
Yeah, I was going to piggyback off of what Dustin was saying. I think there's an opportunity to rule out potential other, whether it's barriers or things that may be going on, other potential solutions. I think we started down that path as we were starting to explore prompts, but it could be as simple as job design. It could be resourcing. It could be bandwidth. It could be seasonal factors. I've seen KPIs in past lives influenced by seasonality that doesn't really give you an accurate picture of performance.
Right.
So you really have to spend more time up front listening and understanding. I think the value of AI is giving, maybe some different perspectives or angles to probe. But before you go to solution, because if you develop a great solution, it may not actually solve the problem, no matter how great it is, right? You want to make sure that there's a direct correlation between the problem you're trying to solve and how you're actually approaching it.